Hey, welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. This is Monday, October 31st. It is All Hallows Eve, and I missed out on the Trick or Treat Artesia barking guy. We were coming back from Las Cruces, and we rolled into downtown Artesia just as the Trick or Treat Artesia was ending. So there were a ton of cars, a ton of kids, a ton of parents. It was a very, very successful event, I do believe.
Yep.
So, but we got back from Las Cruces. Why were we in Las Cruces? Well, there was a football game in Las Cruces, and the barking guy joins us, and it's time to recap the previous week and get into what's coming up in the wide, wide world of sports and Bulldog sports and playoffs and everything else. And where would you like to begin, barking guy?
With the 35-0 beating of Mayfield in football.
All right, let's start there.
Artesia 35, Mayfield nothing. All five of our touchdown plays could be the offensive play of the game.
All five, huh?
If I had to pick one, it would be the 52-yard short pass and run from Nia Estrada to Devin Fierro for the first touchdown, which set the tone of the game.
It really did, didn't it?
Yep. And the offensive line did wonders, giving Nye time to throw to Devin.
That's right.
And a close second would be Jesse LaRock's 36-yard touchdown for the third touchdown run.
Mm-hmm.
For the defensive play, I would go with Riley Jarrett's 8-yard sack, followed by Peyton Dean's pick. And the reason why the pick wasn't first is because there was a lot of flags thrown on that one. 3 flags.
That's right. Trying to sort that out, figure out who did what.
Yep. And the first 2 were declined, and then we had one on us.
Mm-hmm. They had to mark it off.
So congratulations to the Bulldogs, district champs, Class 4 5A football. Arf!
All right, who's next? Where do you head next now?
Volleyball. Dora 1 and 3 to Lake Arthur. Floyd 1 and 5 to Lake Arthur. JV 2, Portales 2 games to none, 2 sets to none, and Artesia 3, Portales 2. JV 1 against Lovington, but no score posted. Artesia 3, Lovington nothing. 3 sets to none. Destiny Johnson served 8 points in a row.
Yep.
Zoe Warren served the match-winning point.
That's right.
Thank you to Hobbs America for making that game available on KSVPTV.com.
That's where we watched it.
Yep, and so did I. Now we have playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah, that's right. Playoffs. 6-man. Gateway 61. New Mexico School for the Deaf 8. Elida 71. Animus 22. Dora 61. Rama 6. So Gateway, Elida, and Dora advance the semis.
Okay.
8-man. Fort Sumner House 50. Clayton nothing. Melrose 48. Logan nothing. Magdalena 54. Tatum 6. Fort Sumner House and Melrose advance the semis.
Okay.
Soccer boys Class A to 3A. Hatch Valley 3. Nimi 0. So we're done in Class A to 3A boys.
Okay. Class
4A, Santa Teresa 3, Artesia 1.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. Well, it's not that they didn't try.
Oh, no, it was good.
Yeah, but Santa Teresa was better.
Mm-hmm.
Lovington 2, Santa Teresa 1. Goddard 1, St. Pius 0. So
in overtime.
In overtime.
Yeah, that was in the first overtime period with about 2 minutes left to go.
Mm-hmm. So Lovington and Goddard advance the semis.
And they play in Lovington Wednesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. And Class 5A, Cleveland won, Hobbs won, but Cleveland wins in the shootout. So we're all done in 5A boys. Girls,
All right.
Class A to 3A, Robertson 4, Ruidoso 3. So we're all done in A to 3A girls. 4A, Goddard 2, Artesia 0. So Goddard advances. Los Alamos 2, Goddard 1. We're all done in Class 4A girls.
Okay.
5A, La Cueva 1, Clovis 0. Cibola 3, Hobbs 2. So we're all done in 5A girls.
Okay.
Selection Sunday.
Da-da-da-da.
Football. Class 2A. Jal got a number 1 seed, will host Escalante. Texaco got a number 2 seed, will host number 7, Tularosa. Eunice got a number 4 seed, will host Estancia. Loving got a number 6 seed and will travel to Santa Rosa. Only 8 teams selected for 2A, but the Southeast got 5 out of the 8 slots.
As it should be.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Class 3A.
Uh-huh.
Ruidoso got a number 2 seed and has a bye. Dexter got a number 8 seed and will host Cobre. 4A, Lovington got a 4 seed and has a bye. Portales got a number 5 seed and will host St. Pius. Good luck to Portales.
Oh, yeah.
We want them to beat St. Pius.
I would not object to that at all.
Well, St. Pius and us has some history when it comes to playoffs.
Mm-hmm. But we're not in the same classification
Well, we're not in the same
anymore
classification anymore.
For football.
Not for football.
Right.
They're in 4A, we're in 5A. But in 5A, Artesia, Roswell, and Goddard got number 1, 2, and 4 seeds respectively and have byes.
That's as it should be.
And 6A, Hobbs got a number 4 seed and has a bye. Carlsbad got a number 10 seed, will travel to Farmington.
There you go. Some of those game times have been set. Carlsbad at Farmington is on Saturday at noon o'clock.
Yep.
So that's when Carlsbad plays. And the winner of that game gets to go to La Cueva.
Mm-hmm.
And Hobbs is waiting on the Volcano Vista Atrisco Heritage winner, which they play on Friday night. In the 5A, Valley and Mayamera play at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Mm-hmm. The winner gets a all-expense, not paid trip to Artesia, New Mexico to play the Artesia Bulldogs. And Deming and Belen play Friday night, 7 o'clock in Deming. The winner gets a non-expense paid trip to Roswell to take on the Goddard Rockets. And Mayfield Santa Teresa winner gets to go to Farmington to play Piedra Vista the following weekend. And Los Alamos, the 7, Gadsden, the 10. The winner gets a non-expense paid trip to Roswell, New Mexico to take on the Coyotes next weekend. So that's what will happen next weekend in 5A. 4A, you mentioned Lovington.
Yep.
The number 4 seed, they're waiting to see who wins between Portales and St. Pius X, the winner of that game. And they play Friday night at 7 o'clock in Portales. And let's see, what did you have from 3A? Anybody from our...
Ruidoso and Dexter.
Dexter is hosting Cobre. The winner gets a school expense trip paid to Socorro, the number 1. Mm-hmm. And the Dexter game is Saturday at 1 o'clock in Dexter. And what was the other one?
Ruidoso.
Oh, they get a bye. So they will host the winner of the West Las Vegas Newcomb game. And that game will be played Friday night at 6 o'clock in Las Vegas, New Mexico. So that's the 3A. We didn't have anybody in 2A, did we?
Oh, we had
yeah,
5
that's right.
out of
That's
8.
right. Jal, they play Escalante Saturday at 1 o'clock. Eunice hosts Estancia Friday at 7.
Eunice? Yeah.
Yeah, Eunice is the 4.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Loving, the 6, goes to Santa Rosa, as you said. That is Friday night at 7. And Texaco, the two at hosting Tularosa.
Yeah.
And that is Friday night at 7 o'clock in Texaco. So, and then your six-man Gateway Christian semi against Dora is Friday night at 7 o'clock in Roswell.
Yep.
And Elida Mountainair will play Friday night in Mountainair at 7 o'clock. I have broadcast a football game from Mountainair, New Mexico before.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, we used to cover Lake Arthur football when they played on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Jim would cover them on Saturday because the Bulldogs played on Friday night. And then years ago, Lake Arthur started playing on Friday night, and we couldn't carry Lake Arthur anymore. Of course, that was back then when we were only doing radio. I guess we could now. But they didn't have varsity football this year.
They didn't.
But the year that we covered them, they made it in the playoffs and played at Mountainair. And I went up to Mountainair. We broadcast a game from Corona that year. We broadcast a game from Mountainair that year. And Barking Guy, I had to sit on the gym was on the end of the field. That's where the locker rooms were.
Yeah.
And they had a little, not a porch, but they had a awning over the doorway. They got out a ladder and an extension cord, and I sat on the awning at the end of the field, looking out over the field from the end zone to do the broadcast from Mountainair, because they had a teeny, tiny little press box, and there just wasn't any room in there. And we didn't have cell phone coverage in Mountainair.
Nope.
So I brought our remote pickup transmitter and a scanner. And I set everything up on the roof of the gym, not on the roof, on the awning at the gym. Turned on the transmitter, hooked up all my stuff, right? Drove down to the school, set the scanner, turned on the scanner, dialed in the frequency to our remote pickup unit, called the radio station on the phone, and used athletic tape to tape the handset of the telephone to where the microphone was over the speaker of the scanner. Drove back to, and I told the guy here at the radio station, do not, under any circumstances, hang up the phone. Drove back to the football field and did the broadcast, not knowing whether or not I was on the air, but assuming I was. And I told the guy at the station before I left, I said, don't hang up until I get back. Did the ball game, packed everything up, got down off the awning, drove back to the school, picked up the phone and said, hello? Hello? And then packed up all that stuff and came back to Artesia. We did the same thing at Corona. And that one was in the rain. So we were driving around in the rain in Corona. But yes, I have been to Mountainair. I have broadcast a football game from Mountainair. I have broadcast a football game from Corona, New Mexico, and it was quite an experience. Enjoyed doing it. Technology is different nowadays. If they didn't have internet available or cell phone technology, I'd probably pull up with one of those Starlink dishes. I'd probably get one from Elon.
Yeah.
And then set up my internet right there so we could do what we do. But anyway, enough of my ancient history of stories. What's next?
Well, 8-man Fort Sumner House and Melrose will play each other.
Right. Didn't I say that?
Nope, you didn't get to 8-man.
I didn't get to 8-man? Did I get wandered off in my stories and didn't say 8-man?
You didn't.
Lordsburg, and okay, that's Lordsburg Magdalena is Friday night at 7. Melrose versus Fort Sumner House, that's at Fort Sumner, and that'll be at 7 o'clock on Friday night.
That's right.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So, early voting's ongoing through Saturday, so make sure you vote. Either early voting or on Election Day.
That's right.
In Eddy County, for the early voting, you can vote at the clerk's office, 325 South Main, Carlsbad, or at the county sub-office, 602 South 1st Street in Artesia. Hours for both locations are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and Saturday 8 to 4 p.m. In Chaves County, the places are the clerk's office, number 1 St. Mary's Place in Roswell, Roswell Mall, 4501 North Main in Roswell, and the Hagerman Joy Center, 503 East Argyle in Hagerman. Hours for the clerk's office is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Roswell Mall, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hagerman Joy Center, Tuesday and Thursday only, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And here's a tip for our Bulldog volleyball fans who haven't voted yet.
Okay.
Go vote before Pack the Pit night on Tuesday versus Goddard, or before the Portales match on Thursday. You can also early vote on Saturday, November 5th, in conjunction with Balloons and Tunes.
All right.
Banquets that I know of. Football. Not yet. In the past, I've been able to get tickets at Forest Tire.
Well, I'm sure you will be.
Boys soccer. Not yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard on that one either.
Girls soccer. Not yet.
I haven't heard on that one.
Volleyball. Not yet.
Yeah.
Cross country. Not yet.
Well, how do we know these things? Why don't we know these things yet?
Either they haven't been set or people don't tell us. Remember, KSVP can help you get the word out on your banquet or other school event. The community calendar works wonders. And as the old 1972 advertising slogan goes, try it, you'll like it.
What was that for? Was that for the cereal?
That was for Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer. Okay. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
Yeah, that was another one.
Okay.
Try it, you'll like it was one from that era.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Altrusa Smorgasbord, I think it's February 12th, 2023. Tickets should be available November 21st, but I'll be away on Thanksgiving that day, so I'll get mine after Thanksgiving. I usually get them at Brown Drug.
Okay.
This week in old-time radio history, we got a few. October 31st, Dale Evans was born in 1912.
Dale Evans and
Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers, that's right.
Rocky Jordan premiered in 1948.
Was that about a boxer?
No, Rocky Jordan had a had a restaurant called the Tambourine in Cairo, Egypt. and
Okay.
and he was always getting into scrapes and solving mysteries.
Okay.
And Sam Sabaya was the captain of was a captain in the Cairo Police Department.
So was this post-war?
Post-war.
Okay.
And he would say, Mr. Jordan.
Couldn't do that today unless he was an actual Egyptian.
Yeah, you couldn't do that today. And this was before Nasser took over.
Right.
So that was Rocky Jordan.
Okay.
And then WKNR in Detroit, Michigan became Keener 13 and aired a top 40 format for the first time on October 31st, 1963.
Okay.
November the 2nd, Warren G. Harding, 29th President of the U.S., 1921-23, and first one to broadcast on the radio, was born in 1865.
Okay.
KDKA in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, went on the air for the first time in 1920.
1920, and some people say that's the first commercial radio station that broadcast, or
That's
aired
right.
the first commercials anyway.
Yep, and November the 4th, Will Rogers Sr. was born in 1879, Art Carney in 1918, Shirley Mitchell in 1919, Art Carney was born in 1918.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Mitchell in 1919. And Roy Rogers was born on November 5th, 1911.
A lot of people remember Art Carney from The Honeymooners.
Mhm.
He was the neighbor.
Yeah.
Jackie Gleason's neighbor.
Now here's some quotes.
Didn't he work in the sewers?
I think
character
so.
in The Honeymooners? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. All right. Quotes of the week. And I got Joby's right here.
Yep. We'll add Joby's, but I have 3 right here.
Okay.
MLG knocked on my door and said it was too early to decorate my house for Halloween. Big talk for someone who wears a witch costume all year round.
That was Aaron, wasn't it?
It was Aaron.
Yep.
If you hate America, you vote Democrat.
Ooh, was that Mark Levin?
Mark Levin.
Okay.
There's a Cromwell lurking in every governor.
A Cromwell. Now, are they referring to the British, the English? Are we going way back to Tudor
Yeah.
times, or are we talking about
We're going way back to Tudor time.
Are we talking about the actor James Cromwell, who's a liberal activist?
No, we're talking about the English.
The English. Okay. Who said that? Who would have said that?
Hugh Hewitt and Dr. Larry Arnn.
Well, that figures Hugh Hewitt and Dr. Arnn,
and
because they've studied that history. So
yes, and they were referring to Gretchen Whitmer,
Gotcha.
governor of Michigan, about her handling the coronavirus thing.
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's funny. Her candidate, her opponent is a young lady named Tudor.
Yeah.
Tudor Dixon.
Yep. And this was, well, they were comparing Cromwell to Whitmer,
Yeah.
but the same thing can be said about MLG.
She was one of the lockdown specialists. That's right. And our education's not very good right now. Our economy is being hampered by so many things that it shouldn't be. Yeah.
Yep.
No, you're right.
And then on top of that, you have Jewelrygate
Yep.
and Gropegate
Glad you said it that way.
and Lakegate.
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 What was the or late? Is
Lake.
it Lake? What was Lakegate? I forgot about that.
Lakegate was she and her staffers went to the state park, went to the lake.
Oh, when
it
nobody
was
else
clo-
could?
When
Yeah.
nobody else could.
Yeah.
That was Lakegate.
Lakegate. I got it. Yep. She had a few.
Oh, she did.
Not
She-
as many as others. You know, once the jewelry thing happened, she kind of watched her P's and Q's, if you will, and I don't recall there being that many more evidence of incidents of stuff, you know, because by then you'd had the Crown Royal, you'd had the Wagyu beef, you had the jewelry incident and all that. And after all that, she kind of did a better job of keeping it secret, I think. So,
Yeah, well, she tried to keep Gropegate secret, but she paid $150,000
that's right.
to keep it quiet.
That's right.
You know, enough of that. How about the schedule?
Tell you what, let's take a break.
Okay.
We'll come back with the schedule right after this, and we'll talk about Kith and Kin.
Oh, yeah.
But don't forget our quote of the week here, Barking Guy.
Played in our district in 2022.
Yeah, the Mayfield Trojans just came onto the field. The Bulldogs are behind the banner that the cheerleaders made, and they'll be bursting through that here in just a minute. I was trying to read it. Is it a trick or treat, smell my feet? Is that what it says?
Trick or treat, smell my feet, defeat.